It's Monday, April 10th, 2023, and this is episode 280 of You Can Bet on That. Hi, everybody. Welcome to You Can Bet on That, a podcast for the recreational gambler. I'm Mark Duvall.
And I'm Dr. Mike.
Well, we're a little late here because had we recorded on our regular day, it would have been between the semifinals and finals of the men's college basketball tournament. And as it turns out, San Diego State went to the finals. So we didn't want to record between those two games when people would probably be listening to the episode after the finals. And so we thought, well, we don't want to have a whole show where we're talking about, ooh, we hope they win, and then everybody knows what happened.
It saved me from making a prediction that they would win and then looking like an idiot, right?
That's right.
That's the whole idea.
It saved you. That's right, exactly. Yeah. Plus, I think, if we had recorded, that would have jinxed them, whatever that means, because they end up losing the finals. Sorry, it doesn't make any sense. But anyway, that's why we're late. And oh my gosh, this was quite a run by the Aztecs, and as San Diego sports fans, this is definitely one of the big highlights. Up there with the Padres making the World Series 2 times, and specifically beating the Cubs to go to the World Series in 1984. The Chargers going to the Super Bowl, which, was one of the worst Super Bowls ever. But this San Diego State run was amazing. And yes, they lost in the finals, but they put on a good show. It wasn't a rout. They were within 6 points with 3 minutes to go. Right. It looked like they were going to make a bit of a comeback. UConn did win sort of convincingly, but anyway, this was unbelievable, and the town was just on fire here. Now, it's funny because, Dr. Mike, you and I did not go to San Diego State.
No, but we grew up around the corner, basically.
Right. And, as far as college sports goes here, San Diego State is really the only game in town. Now, I know we do have University of San Diego. They have football and basketball. UCSD, where you and I went to school, they do have basketball. And
they're going to get football, I think.
Okay,
I heard the rumor.
Anyway, so San Diego State is really the college sports in this town. And gosh, both of my parents went to San Diego State. My wife went to San Diego State.
My wife did.
Yeah, so we've got ties here, and this was very exciting.
Yeah, it was exciting. It's just that we still have not got over the hump.
Nope, we still have not gotten there. And with the Chargers gone, football, it's basically Padres now.
Right.
And they certainly have a chance this season. They've got a great team.
Well, Lynn said to me before the finals, after we knew they were in the finals, she turned to me and said, this is going to be San Diego's year. The Aztecs are going to win the NCAA. The Padres are going to win the World Series. It's going to be San Diego's year. Because it happens that way a lot of times. Like a city will have 2 champions. No,
it didn't happen to us.
No, I looked at her and said, no, that's not happening.
You did. Good. Okay.
Yeah, because I'm not going to die in the next 2 days. So,
Well, Mike, when the Aztecs beat Alabama, I was watching with my dad. He's 84 years old, San Diego State graduate. And I turned to him and said, well, Dad, I think this is the biggest win in State's history. What do you think? And he agreed with me. So I'm glad he got to see that. And as the tournament went on, I know there was at least somebody on Twitter after our win over Florida Atlantic who asked me, is that now the biggest win in San Diego State history? And I'm thinking, no, I still think the win over Alabama.
Well, yeah, they were the number one ranked team in the tournament.
Yes, exactly.
And we killed them.
Yeah, it was not close. We had some close games in this tournament. That wasn't one of them.
Right. That wasn't one of them. So that's a real feather in their cap, though.
Yeah, exactly.
They took down a number one.
Let me play a call that we got from Tara after that Alabama win.
Hey, Mark and Dr. Mike. This is Tara of the Tara and Taylor fame. Who's calling in. I was seeing your tweet that your dad was agreeing with you that this is the greatest win in Aztec history. And Taylor and I also agree. So I went to San Diego State around the same time, with some overlapping years with Kawhi Leonard. So you'd think that would be my, favorite wins. But I wasn't actually into college basketball that much in school. until after college when I started dating Taylor, then got into college basketball. And this year we've been supporting San Diego State. Like that's been the team that we've been following more. And we went to the Mountain West Conference Tournament in Vegas to watch them win over Utah State. So we want to say that, you know, a lot of their success this year is probably due to our support. So you're welcome. We will do our best to continue supporting them because we've really seen them benefit from us learning their fight song and going to their games. So we'll do our best to keep it going. Have a great day. Talk to you later.
Okay, so I'll take that. Maybe if Tara and Taylor had actually gone to the finals, maybe that would have pushed State up over the edge. But
well, my question to both of them is, what happened?
What?
I mean, they could only get them so far. What happened?
I like that. What happened, Tara and Taylor? So Tara is saying, "Oh, we're the cause of this. We're the reason they did so well." Well, then you're the reason they lost in the finals too. What do you have to say?
Nobody can argue with that logic, Mark.
Again, the Alabama game still, I think, is the biggest win. But if you want to talk about the most improbable win and the most incredible win, I had given up in this game. A little ways into the second half. There were like 15 minutes left in the game. But this game against Florida Atlantic, I say we, the Aztecs, were ahead in the first half for a little bit, never led in the second half at all. We were down 14 points at one point. The only time we were ahead was on that buzzer beater.
At the buzzer.
That was it. And that incredible shot to get them to the finals. Okay, maybe not their biggest win, but certainly one of their most incredible wins ever.
And actually, we weren't even ahead at the buzzer because he let the ball go.
Oh, no, I know.
Before the buzzer. The ball was still in the air when the buzzer went off.
That's what I'm saying. The only time the Aztecs had a lead was when they won the game. That's it.
That's it. Isn't that crazy?
Oh, my God.
I was having a heart attack here. Our friend Michael James, he texted me right after that and said, calm your heart down. Just calm down. I said, I'm not going to be calm until Tuesday.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Now, there's only 2,500 people in this town that I live in, and I think about 2,490 had me telling them that the Aztecs were going to win it all.
Okay. Did you put any money down on it?
I wore my hat everywhere.
Okay.
No, I didn't want to jinx them.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
No. I just wore all my San Diego State garb all day Monday.
All right, let me play a call from Taylor that we got after that game.
Mark and Dr. Mike, this is Taylor from New Mexico. Did that just happen? This is right after the FAU game. This is going to end in a championship. It really will. Just want to say congratulations. And who knows where San Diego State will play next year, which conference, either Mountain West or Pac-12. You know, you really should get out to the conference tournament weekend in Vegas. Anyway, let's all just soak it in and calm down, and let's finish it on Monday. All right. Thank you, guys. Bye.
Mike, do you think this helps their chances to get into the Pac-12, or does it matter, or do you care?
Well, I don't think it mattered. I think they're going to the Pac-12 anyway.
Okay.
They're a quality team.
Yeah.
The Pac-12, to be honest, has not been that good in quite a few years. You know, they'll get UCLA in there. Sometimes Oregon has a good run and stuff. But overall, that conference has been kind of weak, I think, compared to the East Coast.
Uh-huh.
So they're looking to upgrade. And, you know, adding San Diego State is definitely an upgrade for them because they're a good team.
Okay.
And it helps San Diego State.
Well, for sure.
They're going to play tougher competition. They're going to get better players who want to play in the Pac-12. Not that their players aren't good. They've done pretty darn good. I mean, Brian Dutcher got him to the finals here in just his third season, third or fourth season. You know, he already has a championship ring from Michigan when he was assistant to Steve Fisher in Michigan. So I think they're going to the Pac-12. I wouldn't be surprised at all. And maybe, I don't know, Utah State or Colorado State's had some good teams recently. You know, maybe another team goes with them.
Well, this San Diego State run was the cherry on top for us as State fans. But again, just another great tournament. I think everybody can still agree, you know, no matter what team you were rooting for, even though you might have had some heartbreak on the way, good grief, nobody picked these two teams to get to the finals.
UConn, a lot of people
maybe
did
sure UConn, certainly UConn over San Diego State, but yes,
yeah, UConn at the beginning of the year started off like 5 or 6 wins in a row, and they were pretty highly ranked. Then they had this terrible losing streak where they lost like 6 in a row, and they dropped way down. And then they were good again at the end. They're a good team. They just had that weird little bleep at the start of the season that kind of hurt them.
Yeah, and everybody was basically saying, okay, Alabama's going to take it. Maybe some people thought Houston or something. But anyway,
it was one of those years all year long where there was no team that was undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even Alabama had, 4 losses or something? Or it was just a free-for-all, really. But I'm glad San Diego State made it. And I think as long as they don't pack up in the middle of the night, the day before, fall session starts, the whole university's empty and it's all moved to LA, I'm happy.
Okay. Yeah.
The team can play in the Pac-12 as long as they are still San Diego State.
Yeah, I've heard of professional teams doing that. I don't know if I've ever heard of a college team or an entire college, for that matter, moving overnight. But I agree with you. I hope that doesn't happen.
All the students get a letter. You'll be attending classes in Irvine for the rest of the...
Oh, I knew it! All right. Well, folks, thanks for indulging us on basically sports as opposed to gambling. Certainly, we, had some gambling involved.
Oh, there's some gambling involved.
The tournament. We didn't do very well in our survivor pool or in
wait a minute. I won the pool here in Caledonia.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You did. You were in some pool where you picked the Aztecs to go very far, so you won the pool.
I picked him to go all the way because I thought, what the hell? Nobody else is going to do that.
That's great.
For $5, I'll do that.
Well, let's move on to gambling. Mike, I understand you went to a new casino in your area. Tell us about that.
Well, Kevin, our good friend Kevin, had called me up and said that his wife were going to be in Dubuque, Iowa for a couple nights and wanted to know if I wanted to come up. And I thought, we had just talked to Lynn's cousin who lives in Dubuque. I thought, let's just go down and visit her and her husband. And then I'll head over to the casino, play a while. And then maybe we'll go out to dinner or something. And then, before we come home.
And this is Diamond Jo Dubuque, right?
Yes. But there are quite a few differences, which I'm going to go over.
All right.
Once again, casinos owned by the same company, but with totally different roles.
Okay. So Boyd Casinos, like Diamond Jo Worth, both in Iowa. Okay. Go ahead.
Right. Well, on the way down there, we have to drive by Marquette. That's one of the fastest ways to go. Mm-hmm. So it's a riverboat, right there on the Mississippi. We didn't stop. And I said, on the way back, let's just stop, go in for 5 minutes. I'll check it out. Well, while I was there, one of the dealers told me that they don't have craps anymore at all.
At Marquette.
Now, it used to be where they had craps like on the weekends, like I think Friday night and all day Saturday or something like that. But he said they don't have it anymore. He said they only have 2 or 3 tables of blackjack, and then the rest is all slots.
Oh, okay.
So we didn't stop on the way back because I thought, well, I'm not going to stop for that.
Right.
There is another casino. Then we got to Dubuque, and we went to lunch with my wife's cousin and her husband, had a real nice lunch. And Dubuque's kind of an older town. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of historical things there. There are way, way more churches than casinos.
Okay, well, I'm not surprised to hear that, but yes.
I mean,
you can say that about most places, but all right.
Not Las Vegas.
Maybe not Las Vegas. That might be the one, but I think there are probably more churches in Las Vegas than casinos, but don't quote me on that.
It might be close. Anyway, it just seemed like there were churches everywhere. But we ended up lunch, and I ended up going over to the casino. There's 2 casinos there. There's Diamond Jo Dubuque, and then there's the Q. And that's where Kevin and his wife were staying, at the Q.
Okay.
They just came over to Boyd because they knew, I had rewards and stuff from Boyd, and I wanted to check that out. Next time I go, which probably won't be too long from now, I'm going to go check out the Q, and I'll have a report on that.
Okay.
But Diamond Jo Dubuque is very, very similar to Diamond Jo Worth in design.
Okay.
But it's a little bigger. The casino is way more open. I loved where the craps tables were. They were kind of in the middle, wide open area. Nobody walking by you or trying to cram in or anything. They had 2 tables. Only one was open when I was there on Friday afternoon. So the layout was nice. The casino was way less smoky than Diamond Jo Worth. Parking was great. They have a big, huge parking structure that dumps right in the casino.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you all the positives here first.
Okay.
And they have a bowling alley on the second level.
Oh, all right.
I don't know. It looked like maybe like 15 to 20 lanes.
Mm-hmm.
They offered me, did I want to stay longer and bowl? We'll comp your bowling. And I'm like, no, I didn't bring my ball, and I'm not using one of those house balls. I made a hissy fit about that. Not unless you're going to go home and get my ball.
Yeah, you're not a house ball guy.
Nah, I'm not a house ball
Your whole
guy.
life, yeah.
So they had a snack bar in the bowling alley, and they also had another like sports bar up there that had food and stuff.
Okay.
Then there were a couple other choices, I believe, for restaurants. I didn't check them out, but we did go to the steakhouse for dinner called Woodfire Grill, and it was excellent.
Good. Oh, good.
Excellent. Yeah. There was 5 of us. So me, my wife, my daughter, my mother-in-law, and Lynn's cousin's husband. She couldn't come because she had somewhere to go for Easter, but he was staying because he had to work. So he had dinner with us, and it was very, very good. All 5 of us thought our food was great. Good service, fast, very nice. The casino comped that all for me.
Good.
So that was nice. I didn't have to pay anything.
Good.
And let's see, I'm trying to think of other positives. People were friendly to me, very nice. Staff was good. Cashier was better than Diamond Jo Worth in that it was a little more accessible, and they had several lines for different player cards, which was nice. Yeah. And drink service was pretty good. I was only there, maybe 2.5, 3 hours.
Now, did drinks work the same way they did at Diamond Jo Worth, where technically they're not free, but you have to ask for a card to get it comped at the table?
Yeah, that I do not know because there were only like 4 of us on the table, and me and Kevin just got a soft drink, which was free.
Sure.
She came around, and they weren't little tiny things. They were nice big ones, which I like. Diamond Jo gives you a little one unless you ask for a big one. I just asked for a Mountain Dew. She brought me a big one. And she came around quite often. I should have asked about alcohol. I was talking so much. I probably didn't even think of that. But anyway, so yeah, it was a nice experience. Now, as far as the craps table goes, there's some distinct differences between Diamond Jo Worth, which, we always find amazing. First off, they have 20 times odds.
Okay, so that's better, right? Because
instead of 10 times at Worth.
All right.
They have 20 times there. But I only found that out in the last half hour I was there.
All right. You didn't ask. You didn't even ask.
Well, there was no sign or anything.
That's why you ask.
It was to $100, and I said, "Is everything the same as Diamond Jo Worth?"
Oh,
and they said,
"So that's
pretty much."
All right, I blame you for that, for not knowing till the end.
I mean, that may be, but you'll find out how I found out it was 20 times odds.
All right, keep going.
This is kind of weird. So, also, they have the all tall, all small. It's $10, just like Diamond Jo Worth, and you can go up to 5 for the dealers. So I can put 10, 10, 10 for me, 5, 5, 5 for the dealers.
Okay. And same payouts as Diamond Jo Worth, the good payouts, the higher
payouts? The good payouts.
Okay.
We hit the half twice while I was there. When I went to dinner, Kevin texts me and says, a guy just hit the all. So right after I left, the next shooter, he said.
You need to take your own advice, Mike. On a previous episode, you were going on about how you don't stop for dinner. You don't go eat. You really let people have it, Mike. So this is karma.
Well, I broke my rule for 2 reasons. Number 1, we had family there.
Okay.
Number 2, I was out of money.
Oh, all right.
So, it was a good time to
stop. Family, that's not a good excuse. Being out of money. Oh, okay.
Nothing like it. Anyway, there's a $500 limit, which is the same as Diamond Jo Worth. I was unsure about put bets. I asked. And he said, yeah, you can do put bets, but you can only have one bet. Like you can either do put bets or you can have place bets.
Oh, I see. Right. So that's not a way to get around the $500 max. Okay.
You're right.
All right. I've never heard of that before, but that doesn't surprise me. Okay.
No. Yeah. So I was a little taken back by that. Well, I was tipping the dealers as I usually do quite heavily. They were very excited because it didn't look like anyone really tips there much on the craps table. And there were about 3 different box person while I was there. And the one gal, she didn't care where they put my dealer bets. I'm placing numbers for them and adding to it and doing all kinds of stuff. She didn't care. They were just putting it in the middle like they do at Diamond Jo Worth.
Okay.
Well, then the next guy came and he was a stickler, and he said that they have to put their bet on top of mine because a player can only have one bet. And I said, but as a player, I do only have one bet. The other bet's the dealer's. No, he said that counts as your bet too. So you have to put their bet on top of your bet. And there's a 500 max still. So if I got something up to 500, I can't make a bet for them.
Yeah. Why is he aware of this rule and is so intent on making sure that you follow this rule? And another box person, that's fine. Yeah, that's strange.
They had to check on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, they were seriously, like 2 or 3 other people. Oh, let me ask the big boss. They had no clue if that was doable or not doable, or how much I could put on the all tall, all small for the dealers.
Wow.
Anyway,
they'd never seen any kind of player like you ever, Mike.
It really seemed that way.
Yeah.
It really seemed that way. So then when he sat down, they're taking my bet and then putting the dealer bet on top of it.
Yeah.
So I'd have like a $60, say 6, and $12 for the dealers. And then all of a sudden they would just throw it on top.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a $72 bet.
Right.
And then the dealer had to pay it, the $72 bet, $84, and then give it all to me. And I had to give him 14 for them to drop in the box for them. And it just slowed it down.
Now, what is the rationale behind that? First of all, why is it a rule? Second of all, is it really a rule?
Yeah, right. And when I got there, Mark, it was so fast. They were sending them fast.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, great, I love this. They're going fast. They're going fast. And then when that guy came in, he said that it slowed everything down.
Yeah.
Then when I go to buy the 5 and 9, he says to me, you got to pay the VIG first.
Oh, boy.
And I said, I thought that was like Diamond Jo. He said, on the 4 and 10, you pay the VIG after. On the 5 and 9, you got to pay it first.
All right. And we used to hear that from Vegas casinos a while back. But
right. And I said, really?
Yeah.
So it's not the same as Diamond Jo Worth.
Right.
And then he did say, to his credit, well, let me check. And then 2 or 3 pit
let me
boss
check. This is, hey, what do you mean, let me check? Right? That's
two other people came in the pit, probably like floor supervisors or something. And there was some discussion. And then they said, oh, yeah, we'll let you. You can pay for it after. We'll let you. Because they saw what I was betting and stuff.
Oh, God. All right.
I thought to myself, oh, my God. Then, after we finally get all that stuff squared away, someone was shooting. We came out like on a 6. So I had a line bet. I take what I thought is full odds. So I had a $25 line bet. I take $250 odds. And then I put $30 as a place bet for the dealers. Now, this is the point, right?
Right.
So he goes into that. It all has to be together. And I said, well, how can I put it together when I'm at the max? He says, no, just put it on the odds. And I'm like, oh, I can go above on the odds, for that much, for $30. And he said, well, you're not taking full odds anyway. And I'm like, what? He said, it's 20 times odds. You can go to 500 on that bet. And I'm like, really? Well, I didn't know that. And he said, yeah. So I just, put their $30 on top of mine. And then once again, when it hit, they had to pay it, me all, and I had to give them the 30 plus 35 more,
right?
So they could drop it in the box.
Well, it's so you were talking about how when you went to dinner, you were out of money. So maybe not knowing that it was 20 times odds saved you some money.
Definitely saved me some money.
Okay, well, that's good.
And he looked at me and he said, oh, now is this going to change the whole way you play? And I said, to a certain degree. But anyway, other than him being a little grumpy, the players and the dealers were great. They were chatting with me and talking and seemed very, very into me betting and stuff. And they did let me have a chair to sit down because I told them my, knee was bad and I got some problems. And the casino, it wasn't very busy in there. Once again, it's a Friday afternoon.
So it sounds like your overall experience was very good. You mentioned a couple of things that were a little odd or annoying. But overall,
we got them worked out.
Yeah.
So if I went back down there, it'd be okay. The host came over And I said, well, we're going to go to dinner at 5:45. And what can you do? And she just says, I'll go in and arrange it for you.
Oh, good.
It was all covered. And alcohol would have been covered too.
Good. Just nobody drank.
Nobody drank because, well, I was driving.
Yeah.
And Grace can't drink and
right,
no one else does drink. Yeah. So, but alcohol, I asked, alcohol would have been covered. So.
Good.
They definitely wanted to know when I was going to be back. One of the dealers asked me, what would it take for me to stop going to Diamond Jo Worth and come there instead? Because he said, well, how often do you go? I said, well, I go every week. Every once in a while, I miss a week, but I usually go every week. And he said, well, what will it take to come here instead of there? And I'm like, well, I don't know. It's 2.5 hours here. And it's 2 hours and maybe 10 minutes there. So it's 20 minutes difference, which is not a big deal, but that's 40 minutes round trip.
Sure. So what was your answer to this guy?
Well,
what would it take?
I said, I don't know, but I'll probably come here maybe once a month.
Okay.
Maybe once every 6 weeks. I don't know. But yeah, I liked it. I want to go down there again so I can see the Q Casino.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And see what it's like. Although Kevin did tell me, I said, is craps the same there as here? He said, well, they don't have the all tall, all small. They've got the sharpshooter bet.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not too bad because you don't get to play the sharpshooter very often. For those who don't know, it's kind of like the fire bet, but the points that you make don't have to be unique. You can repeat certain numbers as points for the sharpshooter. Right. All right.
Yeah. So it's just making more points pays more. So yeah, I'm probably going to go down there again and see that. And yeah, I'd give it a good rating.
Good.
I was laughing because at one point, one of the dealers changed and it was obvious she was a good dealer, but there was some come out when we were on a pretty hot roll. And, I was doing a bunch of stuff and Kevin just says, oh my God. And she's like, you got to have to slow down. We don't get that kind of stuff. I was moving all kinds of stuff. Hard 8 had hit. I parlayed it. Oh, they do allow hop bets there.
And they don't at Diamond Jo Worth?
They do not at Diamond Jo Worth.
Oh, I guess I didn't know that. I didn't even realize. Oh,
they have no spot on there, no hop bets. So, I was betting like a 3-way 8 and then I had all C&E and I had a world for them and I had a world for Kevin. And I had a 3-way 7. And then I parlayed their world to the horn because a 2 came up or something. And she was all, we don't get action like that. This is strange. This is hurting.
Well, good. Thanks for the report, Mike. Yeah, let us know when you go back down there again. So it sounds like generally a good experience.
Yeah, I think a good experience.
All right. Well, we got a message on Twitter from listener Will C. He said, just heard the episode where Dr. Mike mentioned going to Australian casinos. Can I ask which one and what he thought? Now, Mike, when's the last time you were at an Australian casino?
Oh, gosh, Mark. I was like 19 years old.
Okay, so it was any information that you can provide is not going to be current.
No.
Were you old enough to gamble? What was the gambling age when you went there?
I didn't gamble, so I don't know if I was not old enough or my uncle did. I went with my uncle.
Yeah. Okay. So you really don't have any information to give. Do you even remember which one it was?
I have no idea.
Yeah. Okay.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
He owned horses, and we were there for something to do with horse racing that day.
Okay. That's what I thought, but I wanted you to.
Yeah. I wouldn't remember anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I can barely remember it this morning.
Sure, I understand. And I'm sure most of the information we just got from your Dubuque report is either wrong or, you left out stuff.
Yeah, Kevin will call with the actual report.
Oh, okay. Very good. Hopefully we get to hear from Kevin about what actually happened there.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks to everyone who's been clicking through our Amazon link. Remember, whenever you're going to buy something through Amazon, please go to our page first, youcanbetonthat.com, and click through our Amazon link towards the top of the page. All right, let's get to some of our voicemails. First up is Ariel.
Hey, Mark and Dr. Mike, this is Ariel. Just trip report and maybe a question later on. So I went to Vegas for a long weekend, March Madness and all that. Definitely a lot of people. Got very lucky and, it was a lot of fun. Played pretty much a lot of games. I hit a straight flush on Pike-Out, poker, had the bonus and had the prop bet. Also got like a jackpot on a slot machine after pushing it 3 times. Played some poker tournament over there in Vegas. Took like 6 plays. played some cash games and made some money there. It was just an overall great trip, Craps kicked my butt. So that's what happened. Overall, fun trip. Family and friends were there, and it was great. Tried some good food and everything. Question. I don't remember anything discussed in the podcast about dealing with a host, not necessarily a host for like MGM or Caesars or something like that, as in like a gaming host that hooks you up like with suites and all that stuff. That might be something to talk about. I kind of had an experience on that because of a friend that's a high roller. You know the guy, but he got a suite and he wanted me to hang out with him, so he got me a suite plus free play through that program. I don't know if you guys are aware of it or familiar with it, but it's pretty interesting. Not necessarily with the Caesars or MGM properties, but it's through a different host system. Anyways, thank you very much for everything that you do. I'm glad that the poker turned out great. Second place, Mark. That's freaking awesome. I need to go play poker with you and see how everything goes out. And definitely looking forward to next year's, or maybe in September or something like that. All right. Have a good one. Take care.
All right. Yeah, we'll be playing our tournament again in early September this year. Mike, you and I have never used an independent host. I don't think I would really be a player that would qualify, but I think you would be. And
well,
again,
I get emails from them all the time.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say, and an independent host is just what you think it is. It's a host that doesn't work for a particular property or company, but instead has a lot of connections where they can get you great deals at any casino, depending on your play, that kind of a thing. And this kind of ties into what we've been talking about recently, too, about receiving offers from properties that you've never been to before. Oh, how is that possible? And certainly there is a network of independent hosts and companies that collect data, that kind of thing, that are working together. If anybody has worked with an independent host and has some interesting information to give us, let us know, because we have not had firsthand experience with them.
Yeah, I get emails all the time from them saying, we have this going on, and how would you like to go here and stuff. And I don't have the time really to travel. A lot of them are traveling places, and so I haven't taken advantage of that. But it would be a good idea. They probably get you some great deals.
Oh, for sure. Certainly for a player like you.
When Ariel talked about hitting that straight flush in Pai-Gal, that reminded me of something from yesterday, Mark.
Okay.
Kevin was talking to me about not hitting a royal on the poker machines. Mm-hmm. And I said, yeah, it's just never going to happen. His wife was playing machines, and she had already hit too many jackpots in the day.
Too many jackpots?
Too many, M-I-N-I.
Oh, M-I at too many jackpots. Gotcha.
Yeah, I can't afford to win this many jackpots.
This is too much.
What the hell's going on with
too
this?
many. That's another thing about Diamond Jo Dubuque. If you win more than two jackpots, they kick you out. Okay.
So anyway, the dealer heard us, and I was saying, oh, it just will never happen to me. It's just never going to happen. And she said, the first one I ever got, I was drunk playing video poker, and I got the royal, and I didn't realize it. And I just started to press the button again, and it wouldn't press. And she said, I just kept pounding on that button. And then finally somebody came by and said, it's not going to go until they pay you for the royal.
All right. So maybe that's the key. You have to be just so stinking drunk that you don't even realize you've hit it.
She probably just thought she had a flush. And come on, let's play the next hand. I laughed and laughed about that. I said, well, at least you're admitting you're drunk.
All right. Next call.
Hey, guys. This is Joseph from Grand Prairie, right outside of Dallas. So the wife and I took a trip to Niagara Falls. Some gambling, but mainly a sightseeing trip because we're going to Vegas in May. A couple of things. The conversion to and from Canadian to U.S. was a bit of a pain, but nothing we couldn't handle. Also thought it was interesting to see Sick Bow offered as a game option. I watched that for a little bit. It was interesting. Also wanted to tell you about a rookie mistake that I made. I felt like an idiot. So since COVID, with the limits going up, I haven't played on a regular tables. I've been playing mainly shoot to win, some roll to win, but my wife found a slot to play, and there was a roll to win right behind her. So I walk up to it, and I wait for him to 7 out. I put my money in, and I bet on the pass line. There's a little dollar emblem right there on the thing, so I didn't think anything of it. I thought, well, okay. So I'm putting my bets on there, and about 3 times it won't take them. So I'm thinking, what the hell? And finally, the guy sitting next to me, he tells me, hey, how much are you betting? I said, I'm just trying to bet a few bucks here on the pass line and placing some numbers. He goes, that's a $20 table. And I thought, oh, hell. So I had to cash out and leave the table with my tail between my legs like a freaking rookie. So just thought I'd share that. Nobody's perfect. I just got excited to play, and that was that. So anyway, I look forward to hearing future episodes, and you guys take care. Thanks. Bye.
All right. Thanks, Joseph.
Thanks.
I think $15 is the most I've ever seen or even heard of on a roll to win table.
Yeah, $20.
Yeah.
I would think 10 would be the max on a roll to win table.
Usually 10. It would only be 15 if it were a big event like New Year's or something. And all the regular tables are up to 50 or 100. And 15 is the most, but 20. That is interesting.
I've never heard of that.
No.
I was going to tell Joseph, though, why is he going to Vegas in May? Nobody is going to be in Vegas. They're all going to be down at Biloxi.
Yeah, that's true. It just doesn't make sense at all, does it?
Joseph, come on, check this stuff out. You got to go to Biloxi. Nobody's going to be in Vegas.
Yeah, Vegas is going to be a ghost town. It'll be a ghost town. Oh, well, he'll learn once he gets there, unless he changes his plans.
He'll have plenty of room for that $20 roll to win table.
That's true. Maybe it'll be low limits. Right, because nobody's there, so you can take advantage of that.
We got $2 craps today. Nobody's
at Bellagio,
and all the rooms are open if you'd like a room. Didn't you hear Mississippi Rob's hosting everybody down in Biloxi? Yeah. Oh, okay. Color me up.
All right, next call.
Hey, this is Uncle Jackie calling in from Western Massachusetts. I was out in Vegas this past weekend for the NCAA Western Regional Finals, and it was a good time. But what I realized is you kind of have to book your travel plans ahead of time, hoping that one of your teams is going to be in there. Or at least that's what I did. I had to book my travel, hoping one of my beloved Big Ten teams made it to a game that I could maybe go see. And that didn't pan out, but it's still a good time to go. But you're in for a lot of people who were there hoping to see their team who didn't make it. But you still are, a part of the action. So anyway, that was a good time. And now I got to say go Huskies, because at least they're from the neighborhood here and they're still in there. On to craps. The table games these days, the minimums are too high for me. So I'm stuck playing, the cylinder craps or the bubble craps. And lately I've been playing the stadium craps. And I was surprised to see that Bellagio has stadium craps for only $3 from the line bet. So it was a good time playing over Bellagio, playing over at Aria. I generally stick to the MGM properties, and I'm trying to get by on stadium craps. And people ask me, what do you think about stadium craps or cylindrical craps? And I said, it's like sherbet when you really want ice cream. I'd really like to be on the felt playing with guys like you, having a good time, busting each other's chops, but limits are just too high for me right now. And on to lodging. The last few trips I've been staying over at Park MGM or Nomad, same thing. And this time, of course, I stayed there because all the teams were playing at T-Mobile right next door. And I realized I feel really comfortable there because there's a lot of other poorly dressed middle-aged people. And I'm like, if you don't want to dress fancy like Aria or Bellagio, you can go to Park, dress poorly, feel comfortable, and gamble in a non-smoking environment. So that's my advertise for Park. If you're middle-aged and want to dress like a slouch, enjoy yourself at Park MGM just like I do. Hey, good luck out there. Hope you hit some hard ways. Uncle G's out.
Here, Uncle G called back real quick. I'm going to play his second call here real quick, and then we can talk about it.
This is Uncle Jackie. I meant to add, I did hit another Royal. But this one was only $250. So don't feel too bad about it. All right? Dr. Mike, it was only $250. Good for you.
Okay, there you go. I love that. Poorly dressed middle-aged people. And instead of it being derogatory, it's like, if that's what you are, you're going to be right at home here.
MGM, that's their new ad. You'll be watching some baseball game and there'll be an ad. Poorly dressed? Middle-aged?
It'll be an ad for Bellagio. It'll be all this elegance and everything, and then just this tag at the end of the ad. If you're middle-aged and poorly dressed, consider Park MGM. It's just a little thing.
Consider our sister property.
Oh, that's great.
Well, I don't qualify. I'm poorly dressed, but I'm old age. So. Where do I go?
Where do the poorly dressed seniors go?
Poor Queens, Mark. They go to Poor Queens.
Got to deal with the smoke, but you go to Four Queens.
Yeah, smoke's no problem when you're old, right? You'll outlive.
You're already old.
You'll outlive the cancer from the secondary smoke.
What do you think of his analogy, being forced to play stadium craps because the limits of the real tables are too high? He says it's like eating sherbet when you really want ice cream. What do you think of that?
That's perfect. Perfect.
You know, the thing is, like, I'll eat sherbet. Usually I don't order sherbet, right? But I'll eat it. You know, if it's offered to me, of course I'll eat it.
I like sherbet, but if there's ice cream, I'd probably take ice cream.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Well, it depends on what flavor the ice cream was.
It depends on the flavor of the ice cream, the flavor of the sherbet, too. I like rainbow sherbet, so.
I have recently decided that I'm going to go for whatever presents itself to me. So if it's Whoppers malt balls, I'm loving it. Whatever's available.
Whatever's presented to you. See, that's a good way of thinking of it because it's a difference between what you would order or buy versus what's available.
What's available. Yeah. So if I go somewhere and the only thing they have is asparagus as a side dish, I'll eat asparagus and I'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
I do draw the line at Brussels sprouts.
Right.
But, most things. So the other day, the only candy we had was those Whoppers malted ball Easter eggs.
Yeah, yeah.
I enjoyed a large bag of that.
Oh, what good for you. You enjoyed that large bag, you say?
Yeah, I enjoyed that large bag. I especially enjoyed it because the other two people in the house don't care for them.
Oh, see, there you go. But at the same time, it's not a bag that you would have chosen if you had a variety.
Oh, no.
You would have gone Reese's peanut butter cups or Reese's Pieces, right? Or M&Ms or something. Okay, I got you.
Yeah. So just in life, you just have to accept what they got. If you go into casino, there's one table open, it's $25, you got to play it.
You got no choice.
We got to have a shirt now that says, I wanted ice cream, but I got sherbet.
How are the shirts coming, Dr. Mike?
Hey, the printer is coming up with a design, and I'm hoping to have shirts at Biloxi.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Amazing.
I have no idea how we're going to pay for it. It's going to dig into our gambling budget.
I won't believe it till I actually see it, but it sounds like you've actually done some work.
Yes.
Again, we'll see, but I'm a little more optimistic than I was before.
Something will happen and I won't have them.
Yeah, I know. That's why, I'm hedging my bets here. All right, well, let's go ahead and stop there. We do have some more voicemails to get to. What we'll do, though, is we will record again next week. Since this was late, I don't want to mess up, our schedule as it was supposed to be. So we'll get back on schedule by just recording next week and dropping our next episode on Monday, April 17th. How does that sound, Dr. Mike?
That sounds good. And as a little teaser for everybody, I think Melanie will be calling in.
I have a feeling you're right, Mike. We may hear from Melanie.
I texted her and got a little, laid the law down to her. We hadn't heard from her in a while, and I sure would like to have a text. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Very good. We'll hear from her next episode, among others. All right. Well, we want to thank some people for some recurring donations. The boys over at Crap Vegas, Jeremy at the Color Up YouTube channel, James, and Kurt. Thank you very much for those recurring donations. We also got a donation from listener Dave, who won our last poker tournament. Paying it forward after winning, you can bet on that tourney. Also a karma donation for an April Vegas trip. Thanks, guys. Well, good luck on your trip, Dave. Also a donation from our buddy Marty. Hello from Reno. Love the show, guys. Marty. Well, hopefully we can see
got to get Marty in Biloxi.
Yeah, no kidding. We also got a donation from Nathaniel. Karma donation for a work trip to Nellis Air Force Base, March 31st through April 1st. Oh, so this has already gone by. Hopefully you had a good trip, Nathaniel. It happens to be my birthday on the 8th as well. So here's to good luck on the tables when there's free time. Keep up the awesome work. Nate, a.k.a. Double Up to Catch Up. We also got a donation from listener Thomas, headed to AC. Thanks for the pod. Well, very good luck, Thomas. And finally, a donation from our friend Kevin that you met up with yesterday, Mike. Playing craps with Dr. Mike was incredible. This is the least I can do, considering he placed half my bets for me. Very fun. So thanks very much, Kevin.
Yeah, the dealers kept saying to Kevin, where do you get a friend who makes all these bets for you? How do I get that? And I turned to the guy and I said, hey, come to Diamond Jo Worth.
Yeah, right. Start listening to this podcast. Go to Biloxi.
Right, go to Biloxi.
Hey, be sure to check out our TV listings showing all the gambling-related shows coming up within the next 2 weeks at youcanbetonthat.com/TV-listings. And our list of gambling-related movies at youcanbetonthat.com/movies. We'd love to hear from you. Call our voicemail hotline at 951-292-4377. That's 9512-WAGERS.
9512-WAGERS.
A little early. Or you can email us at youcanbetonThat@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at youcanbetonThat and on Facebook at facebook.com/youcanbetonThat. Finally, please go to your favorite podcast app and write a review of the show. We love getting your feedback. What do you got for us, Dr. Mike?
Well, I should mention, too, about my trip down there that Kevin did put $5 on a hard 6 for me and him when the point was 6, and then he immediately rolled a hard 6.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yes.
So Kevin's got the touch.
That was very nice.
Good.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And what else, Mark? Padres are off to a so-so start.
Yeah, kind of so-so, but it's so early, so.
Yeah, I've been watching all the games here. Been watching a lot of baseball, actually.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to keep trying to stay on a weekly, if not bi-weekly trip to Iowa.
Yep.
I just, going to Wisconsin to go to Ho-Chunk. First of all, the limit's 300.
Oh, that you did that since our last episode, too. You went to Ho-Chunk with Michael James.
I went to Ho-Chunk with Michael James.
That's right.
And we had a good time. It's just some of the rules are you can only go to 300.
Mm-hmm.
They only had one table on a Saturday night.
Oh, okay.
Because nobody showed up for the other table.
Oh, you mean dealers?
Employees. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, it was like wall-to-wall people. I think at one point we had 9 people on each side.
Oh, gosh.
That makes the game slow.
Yeah.
It makes the game a little boring. And then there's always somebody who's throwing in some late bet or something. So, yeah, they just said, well, we can't get enough people. We had 5 people scheduled and only 2 showed up.
Wow.
I'm like, so open half a table. But that didn't seem to go over too well.
All right.
But anyway, yeah, it was good there too. I enjoyed that.
All right. Well, very good. And again, you'll hear from us again next week. Thanks for listening.
Goodbye.
Okay, let's thin this herd. Untucked shirt, no thank you. Born in San Diego, yikes.
An adult named Todd?
So, this is what online dating is like?